Hello and welcome back to Sci Tech. In this video, I'm going to show you to make this really interesting musical device with using a 555 timer. To do this, let's get started. This right here is the schematic to make this musical device. If you want, you can pause the video and be able to copy the schematic and make the device. Or you can watch this video and see how I make this step by step. And these are the items that you're going to need to make for this circuit. You need a 2-watt 8-ohm speaker, these push button switches, which I have modified to have only the 2 pins on one side, as you can see, a 104 nanofarad capacitor, a 5 nanofarad capacitor, a 22 microfarad capacitor, a 555 timer, 10k ohm resistor, 2 Perfboards. This one's going to be for the circuit for the 555 timer, and this Perfboard is going to be for the circuit for the push button switches and these resistors. Not only have a 10k ohm resistor, you're going to need a 6.8k ohm resistor, 4.7k ohm resistor, 3.3k ohm, 3.3k ohm, 4.7, 2.2, 6.8, 5.6, 2.2, and all of these resistors are all k ohm resistors. Now let's go ahead and let's build this project and let's get started. First, I'm going to start with taking this 555 timer and putting it at the center of the perf board. Clamp it down, and then solder the pins into place. There we go, just like that. Next, I'm going to take this bridge wire and solder it between pin 4 and 8. There we go, solder it into place just like that. Next, I'm going to take another bridge wire and solder between pin 2 and 6. Next, I'm going to take my 10k ohm resistor and place it between pins 6 and 7. Just like that. Solder it into place. Bend over the leads and cut off the excess. Solder bridge it together just like that. Bend over the leads just like this, cut off the excess, and now solder bridge it together. Positive is on this side and negative is on this side. And as you can see, I've soldered it into place. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the positive and connect it to the pin 3. Place the wire in just like this, bend the lead over, and then solder it into place to connect to the positive of the 22 microfarad electrolytic capacitor. And there we go, solder bridge the wire to pin 3, and there, it should look just like this. Next, I'm going to take my 104 nanofarad ceramic capacitor, and I'm going to place it right here, where one pin connects to the 10k ohm resistor, and the other pin is just free. Bend over the leads, and now solder bridge one pin to 10k ohm resistor. And then solder the other pin. Next, I'm going to take my 5 nanofarad ceramic capacitor, and I'm going to place it right here, where one pin connects to the 104 nanofarad capacitor and the other pin connects to pin 6. And then solder bridge them together just like this. What I need to do is I need to connect these two capacitors to ground. So I'm going to connect them both together. Next, I'm going to take this negative wire and solder it to pin 1. Solder it into place, and now solder bridge it together. There we go, just like that. And now I'm going to take the wire and solder it to the two ceramic capacitors. So that way those two ceramic capacitors are now grounded with pin 1 of the 555 timer. Solder bridge just like that. Next, I'm going to take this speaker wire and solder it to the negative of the 22 microfarad electrolytic capacitor. Solder bridge it together, just like this. And there, it's ready to connect to the speaker. Next, I'm going to take my second speaker wire and connect it to ground. There we go. The wire is now grounded. Next, I'm going to take my 9-volt battery connector and connect the positive and negative into place. Positive goes to pin 8, and negative goes to pin 1 of the 555 timer. Bend the wires over to make a successful solder bridge. Solder bridge it into place, just like this. I'm going to take my negative wire and solder it to the common ground, which is still connected to pin 1. Next, I'm going to take my negative speaker wire and solder it to the negative of the speaker. Positive wire onto the positive of the speaker. There we go, it should look just like this. And these are the parts that you're going to need to make for the keyboard. And now we're ready for the second circuit. First, I'm going to start with the Perfboard and the push button switches. I'm going to take each switch, orientate them like this, and then place them all onto the board. And it should look just like this. Solder them into place. And it should look just like that. Next, I'm going to take this regular wire and remove all of the insulation. Pull it out and twist, and then solder the wire to one pin of each of those push button switches. All of those push button switches will be bridged together, and that'll be the positive connection. Solder one pin just like this, and now do the rest, just like that. Next, I'm going to take all of these resistors and put them into place. Take the resistor and link each of the push button switches together, just like this. And there, it should look just like this. Bend the leads over, just like that, so you can solder bridge the two resistors together, and then to solder it to the push button switch. And it should look just like this. There, it should look just like this. Now, cut off the excess. And there, it should look just like that. Next, I'm going to take my 4.7 k ohm resistor and connect it to the 3.3 k ohm resistor, just like this. Bend over the leads just like that. Solder it into place. Move the other lead over to the 3.3 and then solder bridge it together. There we go, just like that. Next I'm going to take my 6.8 kΩ resistor and connect it to the 4.7. Just like that. Bend over the leads. And then solder it into place. And there, it should look just like that. Next I'm going to take my wire and solder it to the resistor. There we go, just like that. Next I take the wire and solder it to pin 7 of the 555 timer. Solder it into place, just like that. Next I'm going to take a positive wire and solder it to pin 8 of the 555 timer. And I'm going to take the positive wire and solder it to the main bridge that connects to all of those switches. There we go, all of the switches are now connected to positive. And it should look just like this. And there you have it, the circuit is now complete. Now let's go ahead and take this battery and plug it in to test it out. Press these buttons here. Okay, so I've decided to change my mind. I decided to take these wires and flip the circuit the other way around. So that way I have the speaker sitting like this. I think that'll be much better, because remember, like I said, no polarity on the speaker. So I decided to get a piece of cardboard, and I plan on taking this, gluing this into place, and using these side pieces to glue this all into place and stand it up. So now let's go ahead and do that. Next I'm going to take my hot glue and put some hot glue on the cardboard, just like this, to glue down the speaker. There we go, just like that. More hot glue to hold it into place more secure. Put some more hot glue on the side, so that way I can be able to put the side pieces, and put hot glue on the side of the speaker. There we go, just like that, and repeat the same process on the opposite side. There we go, just like that. Now it's time to take these two circuits and glue them down into place. Push them down, and there, it should look just like this. And now I'm going to put some more hot glue right here, and that's going to be where the battery is going to connect. Put the 9-volt battery clip, connect it, and glue it into place. And there you have it. Your project is now complete. As you can see, I have a whole circuit right here. Everything's all glued into place. I have the battery here. You can just pull the battery out to replace it and plug the battery in. And you can push these buttons to play the notes. See? Like this. There you go. Just like that. Sorry about that vehicle noise, I have no idea what happened. But there you have it, now you know how to make your own 505 timer piano circuit with using just a few simple components. And there you have it. Thank you for watching SciTech. I hope you learned something new, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course click on the bell icon to be notified for future SciTech videos. Till the next tech, goodbye.